Hello and welcome to the Daily Comic and Collectible, episode 279. Now today, the collectible of the day is the Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse 7-inch scale Wonder Woman action figure designed by Todd McFarlane. From the mind of Todd McFarlane comes one of the most beloved and iconic DC superheroes of all time. Reimagined and in armor of his own design, he encompasses the wondrous power and majesty of Wonder Woman in a new look with his own spin. This incredibly detailed 7-inch scale figure is based off the DC multiverse, designed with ultra articulation, with up to 22 moving parts for a full range of posing and play. Featuring a brand new design from the mind of the Todd father, Wonder Woman comes with a sword and shield and a standing base for display. Also includes collectible art card with Wonder Woman figure photography on the front and character biography on the back. Released by Mcfarlane Toys. Now the comic of the day is Wonder Woman, issue number 75, volume 2, with a cover date of June 1993. With story by William Mesner Loebs, art by Lee Moder, and cover by Brian Bolland. This issue is titled The Last Hero. As they work at Taco Hut, Diana and Hoppy watch the news, reporting how the White Magician stopped 2 members of the Laser Killers gang. Diana tells Hoppy she still hasn't made up her mind as to whether or not to join Micah Raines as a private investigator. Helping people for money seems unworthy. Before being needed for the noon rush, Diana heads to the hospital to visit Officer Modena. Modena tells Diana to stay away from her, so Diana leaves. Inspector Delicado visits and informs Modena that her would-be killer is sobering up and wants to apologize. He's also posting a uniformed officer outside her room for protection, since Modena is scheduled to testify against Danzig, and he's threatened her. Meanwhile, Diana visits the badly burned Elliot. His computer circuitry was fused into him by the explosion. What was human was so badly burned, it's just a matter of time. Diana states there may be a way, and there are resources. She can sometimes reach past the veil of normal life. She then closes her eyes and goes into a trance. Suddenly, her astral form leaps from the earth, finding the space between the normal and the real. A kraken appears and devours her, using her emotions to terrify her. She realizes the metaphor and begins eating the kraken from within, becoming the kraken by embracing it, and she becomes whole again. Diana climbs to the Isle of the Sun. Her goal is a piece of the Golden Fleece, which has healing powers. She has to use her tiara to cut at the tough wool. Apollo's guardian he left to defend it fires flaming arrows at Diana. It is all she can do with the wound to escape, and her only escape is back to the real world. While all this is taking place, Modena is in her hospital room, thinking angrily about the perp who tried to kill her, who wants to apologize. Like it would make a difference. That's when he appears at her door, a drug addict and thief, everything she hates. He shakily stammers out his apology to her, admitting to being a dope fiend. Modena thinks, what a loser. It's then the door swings open, pushing Lauder behind it. An officer steps in and pulls out a gun and announces he's already killed the nurse. The officer then starts screwing on the silencer. All Lauder would have to do is stay quiet and he'll be safe, and he'll survive. But Lauder shouts for help, causing the gunman to shoot him. With his dying breaths, he keeps screaming for help and knocks the aim of the shooter off, and he empties his final bullets into Lauder instead of Modena, then leaves. Meanwhile, back with Diana, for the doctor it's only been a few minutes since she entered her trance. The doctor asks if she's hurt. Diana clutches her side, saying the pain is not physical, It's the price that must be paid to do this. The doctor applies the fleece to Brian Elliot's chest, and within minutes he's healed. The doctor asks Diana if it will heal anyone. She says she doesn't know. The doctor takes off and Diana collapses behind her. 3 hours later, Diana awakens in a hospital bed. The doctor had taken the fleece to the children's burn ward, and the fleece lasted long enough to cure 5 kids before disappearing. The doctor states she's had a visitor waiting and enrolls Officer Medina. "Hello, Diana," she says, with a tentative smile. Geek fact: the badly burned Brian Elliott was in computer operations and computer hacking. After he was severely burned by the White Magician and then healed by Wonder Woman using her Amazonian powers, in return, he helped her bring down the White Magician. Bonus geek fact: Isabella Medina is a Boston police officer. Medina is a strong, strict, and conservative woman, and all she ever wanted was to be a cop. The junkie, Dickie Loader, was transformed by the White Magician, blasting her out the window of St. Eligius. Wonder Woman saved her with her lasso. Another bonus geek fact: the golden fleece was the hide of a mystical ram. It was hung on an oak tree as a sacrifice in a grove sacred to Ares, and guarded by a dragon. It remained there until taken by Jason and the Argonauts. The fleece grants flight, superhuman strength, X-ray vision, and healing abilities. Its first appearance is in DC Comics in Superboy issue number 120, with the cover date of April 1965. And final geek fact: the first appearance of Wonder Woman was in All-Star Comics issue number 8, released in December of 1941. Bonus note: in June of 2022, a 9.4 graded slab sold for over $1.6 million. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining me for today's Daily Comic and Collectible, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. This is CatFan ComicsMan, and I'll catch you on the flip. Over and out.